Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kiera, and I hope today is just a great day for you. I hope that you're loving your life. Today's podcast day. Today is the day I get to share with you for whatever we're doing today. So whether we're driving to work together, whether we're driving home together, whether we're doing laundry or mowing the grass or traveling together or whatever you're doing today, thanks for taking me along with you. It's truly something so fun. And today I think is going to be great for you too. What do you do when you hit the plateau in your practice? So reality is we didn't build our practices to be stuck or to feel like we're stuck or that there's no, we don't know our next move. The reality is if you've plateaued or you feel stuck, it's just time to evolve. It's an indicator for you to know what the next step is. Kind of like when our seatbelt buckle beeps in the car, it's an indicator to put our seatbelt on. Or we get the indicator from the gas light. It's an indicator to go and fill up our car with gas. Same thing when our practices feel like it's plateaued or it's stuck. It's just cool, let's diagnose. Let's create a framework. Today, I'm going to help you have a 3-step framework to diagnose your growth ceiling and how to push through it with strategy and confidence. So that's about what we're going to do today. Dental Team is obsessed with you. I adore you. I'm so excited to be a part of your life, of your practice. Our goal is to positively impact the world of dentistry in the greatest way possible. And we do that through helping you say yes to more. So you having a vision for you and your life and your practice, earnings to make sure that you're profitable and it's predictable profit, and then do systems and team development to ensure that everything you want to say yes to in life, you, your team, and your patients is doable for you. And we do that with fun. We do that with ease. We do that with creativity and love for teams. And we've been there, done that, and done it successfully many times. I truly can hang my hat on the fact that I believe Dental Team is the top-notch consulting company if you want to grow, if you want to do it with fun, if you want it to not just be directed at dentists, but you want your team involved in it, and to do it from experts who have done it thousands of times successfully. And that's something I'm really proud of. Most of our offices see a 10 to 30% increase in production or a decrease in overhead within their first 90 days. We track these stats. We're very obsessive with it, and we do it through really fun, easy dial turns. So if that's something you're obsessed with, rock on. Let's work together. Reach out hello@thedentalteam.com. And as always, thank you guys for sharing this podcast. The goal is to get this into every dentist's hands, every single practice's hands. So please share, leave reviews, whatever you can do to get the word out and to help me on my mission to truly give back to our community. If you're ever looking for topics or our episodes, head on over to thedentalteam.com, click on our podcast page. We have thousands, literally, this is a free wealth of knowledge for you that we put on because I truly just love dentistry and I want to help you have the best life. Life is my passion. Dentistry is my platform. So head on over to thedentalteam.com, click on our podcast page, and you can literally type in anything. So cash flow, overhead, team growth, leadership, morning huddles, case acceptance, route slip, you name it. Type in any of those, and of every single episode we've ever done, it will actually filter for you and bring anything forward for you. So just makes your life super, super easy. Ease is one of our core values, and trying to make your life easy is what we're obsessed about. So today, when we're going a lot of times I see this in a 1 million, a 1.5, a 2 million practice where they're just gosh, I feel like I've just hit my level and I don't know how to grow beyond it. It's kind of like my hair. My hair grows to a certain length and it won't grow beyond that. I can cut it shorter, but it just grows and it has never once grown beyond that. And it's I don't know how to get my hair to grow past this level. Well, some practices feel like stuck hair. But I just want to help give you this framework of 3 simple steps to help you diagnose it and then figure out what the next step is. So number 1 is to diagnose your true ceiling. And this is where we're going to figure out what the true cap rate is. Now, I will put this with an asterisk though, because a lot of offices think they've capped out, but maybe they're just so used to sitting in there or they don't know how to have an eye for it. I went into a practice once upon a time. They had 4 ops and they're like, Kiera, there's nowhere else we could ever fit an operatory in here. So we're just going to build out, we're building a building across the street. Well, within about 15 minutes, I was able to find another operatory. And they added that operatory. They were able to add $200,000 to their practice just that year, just by adding that one operatory in place. And they were like, well, we wish we would have met you even a few months ago before we started building this huge, expensive building. I have another client where they got huge design plans out to expand the building. It's a huge, huge expansion. They sent me a video of their downstairs and I was like, gosh, we could add 6 ops down here with less effort, less reno. And so I think also before you truly say you've hit capacity, maybe getting a second set of eyes on it or a third set of eyes to see, is there any hidden potential in here? Because we're looking at chairs, ops, providers, and hygiene days. That's going to truly be capacity of what can we do. Now, again, getting creative, because could we add maybe an hour in the morning? Have we maxed out all 5 days in the office? A lot of times people tell me we're maxed and I'm like, but you're not even working 5 days. That doesn't mean you have to work 5 days, but if your practice and your building sitting empty, that space that we could actually grow, that isn't the true ceiling. So if we are not maxing out all 5 days, if we're not maxing out all the operatories or all the space that we've got, you truly have not hit your ceiling. You might just not want to do the things that are capable for you. So looking at that, could I add more chairs? Could I add more operatories? What about more providers? What about more hygiene days? What about more hygiene hours? Is there space to expand any of that? Before we truly go to expand, these might be some areas that might be able to help you get past this plateau of some other areas. Also, let's look at our leadership. Is our owner acting as a manager and not a CEO? Are they managing the day-to-day? Are they involved in all the meetings, or are they truly as a CEO? And our office manager is acting as the manager within the practice. So looking for that, because sometimes just freeing that owner doctor up to be a CEO actually can expand your practice very quickly with minimal effort. Like, you actually can have all that in place, and there's very little effort that you actually have to do, because now the owner is able to look at things. It's like, give me a day of nothing and I will create so many possibilities. And so getting that owner out of the manager seat and into the true CEO seat, if that's the right seat for them, can also help. And then let's look to see, like, what are our gaps? So are there scheduling gaps? Do we have block scheduling in place? Can we maximize our schedule even more? What about our case acceptance, our AR? What are some of the other areas of bottlenecks within our practice that maybe if we look to see changing them? Like, I've added hundreds of thousands, including millions, to a practice just by doing a different scheduling tactic, looking at the flow of the practice, just changing up the flow. With pediatric practices, looking to see where do we put our ops versus our prophies. You can actually readjust that whole schedule and actually squeeze out more juice in your practice, giving a better patient experience with little to no effort, just reworking how we're doing things. So I really, really, really love this. Like, there's a practice that Kiera, we're totally maxed out and like, we don't know what to do. And should we like expand our practice? They already have the huge practice. And looking at it, I was like, but we're only here 4 days. So why don't we even consider that 5th day and or evening hours a couple of days? Again, that does not mean your current team. We could hire other team members for this, but like, let's just run some numbers and see, just adding that extra day, those evening hours, we were able to add over 550,000 to a practice just by doing that one simple thing. No extra cost to the building. We were able to bring in 2 team members for that. Everything ran super easy. So I think I would go and look to see, like, in your practice, when you're thinking I've plateaued, run a quick audit and say, where are we losing time? Where are we losing money? Or where are we losing energy? Like, what are the true bottlenecks in our practice? And this is where, like, a CEO has to have that visionary time, because if we ran a 60-minute audit on your office, could we quickly find those? When I walk into an office, or our consultants walk into an office, that's what we're doing. We're auditing your practice. We're looking for these bottlenecks. So even if you can't figure out that, maybe it is time to consider bringing a consultant on site to just look at your practice to see. And we can do this virtually or in person. In person's obviously a little bit easier, but virtually too, take videos and we can diagnose that space real quickly for you, just to see what are maybe some of the options that we could do for you. So then when I look at this, step 2 is going to be like reworking all of your systems for scale. It's like the saying is, like, what got you here is not going to get you to where you need to go. So we've got to rework those. And like, there have been practices that I walked in and they're actually too systematized. They're too in the weeds to be able to grow and expand it. And so for that, like, what do we need to upgrade? So like I said, for block scheduling, or for handoffs, or for our morning huddles, or for accountability systems, or reporting, or KPI, or tracking, like, everybody doing a time audit to see what is on your schedule that should not be on your schedule, that we could actually put into different people's spots. So often offices will tell me, like, oh, Kiera, we're so maxed. And I'm like, you're actually not maxed. Everybody's just overlapping. So we're like 2 or 3 people on the same tasks, versus separating it out, delegating it out, getting everybody crystal clear. That way everybody can see and can have clarity. So, and I don't necessarily do it by person, but by seat. So especially for an office, we've got chair 1, chair 2, chair 3. What do each of these chairs, what are they responsible for? What are the numbers and the metrics that they're responsible to do? So really, like, separating it out, dividing it out, making sure our systems are very scalable. So think like, okay, if we're a 5-op practice doing 1.5 million today, what would a $4 million business that's maybe an 8-op practice do? How would we have to change those systems? And even starting to implement those systems now into your practice can exponentially help you go beyond this plateau space. So I really think, like, when you look at it, those simple changes, like, we're able to add 10,000, 20,000, 15,000 to a practice per month just by adjusting some of these systems, just by adjusting the KPIs, just by adjusting what people are doing, because a lot of times smaller practices are more overlappy. I think it's the best way to say it, rather than the larger practices. The larger practices do run a little bit leaner. They have more clarity of who should be doing what because they have to. And so really looking to see, what do I need to do and how can I optimize the systems? What's outdated in our practice that maybe we could revamp, refine, do differently. Now, on the flip side, sometimes practices that are so large actually have so many old dated systems that they just keep bringing forward that they need to actually get rid of some of those dated systems and pick one or two systems to update. So are we so clunky in everything that we're tracking on our scorecard? Could we eliminate some of the things that we're tracking? So there's either we need to track more or we need to track less. What is it? And how can I actually update and rebuild our systems to be able to scale with ease? So that would be a quick thing to look at of what's outdated or what's too not nuances, what areas. And again, these are hard things to see. So fair warning, you've never done this before. So you might not even realize something's dated. And there was a practice who was still using paper charts. And I walked in and I was like, I've worked with you for a year. You didn't bother to tell me you had paper charts. But for them being in the day to day, they didn't realize that was dated. So sometimes for you, you do need a bird's eye perspective. You do need someone who has seen hundreds of offices of what should be happening or what could be happening in your organization that maybe you're not even doing. So truly, I am big on, yes, I am a consultant. So of course I have that. We do it within our company too, bringing in people who are smarter than where we are. We know we've hit our ceiling and what we know how to update or what we think is outdated, we've already fixed. It might be time for you to also have that. And sometimes that's where the plateau happens, is because you've grown as far as you know how to grow. You don't know how to go to the next level. And I've been there. I'm in there in my company right now. We're getting ready to bring somebody in from large corporation to still keep our boutique feel, but allowing us to scale in ways that I don't even understand how to do. So truly, even myself, I do this for our company because I think it's so wise to see somebody else who can help me figure out what's dated, what's not working, to help us scale even more, while maintaining the feel of who we are. Step 3 is going to be setting a bold new vision. So when we feel like we've plateaued, we got to figure out where do we want to go? Where do we want to grow to? And for me, it's defining what the next level looks like. So is that team, profit, schedule, lifestyle? When we work with offices, we set a 1, 3, 10-year goal that helps have this bold new vision. And sometimes you might be in this. I was in this, and at it was year 7. I kind of lost the vision, and I was I don't really know if this is where I want to go. And so we've got to just clear up the vision and figure out, where are we going? What does that look like? Team members, schedule, how many hours is the CEO working? Things like that. And then getting the whole team bought into it. And this is something I really love about leadership teams is we build the vision together. So owner, yes, I need to know where you want to go. You set the lighthouse for us, and then we build around it. And so then what we do is we then tie quarterly goals into it. We run off of traction, but really what I see happen so often is the owner doctor feels like they're just dragging the boat along when they feel like they've plateaued, but they don't have the whole team bought into it. And this is actually a question we ask offices when they're coming to work with us is your 1 through 10 year vision, how clear is that on a 1 to 10? And a lot of times you're well, I know where I want to go. And I'm great. Now does your team know where you want to go? And usually that's where it's fuzzy, is the team has no clue. So the doctor really is just imagine, this is how I visualize it. These huge chains, and I'm holding them, and they're pulling this boat, and I'm sluggishly walking down the beach, trying to pull this boat along, versus throw the chains in the boat. So it's not on my back anymore as the owner. I hop in the boat with my team. As a team collectively, we know that we're headed to this island at this time. We've got the map. We've got the roadmap. We've got somebody guiding us if we need to. Well, now everybody's rowing together, right? That's so much easier. Even if you're watching the video, you saw my, it's this, I don't know, hunched over, exhausted, trying to pull this whole heavy boat, versus we're all just rowing, and I'm in my seat and I know what I need to row. And well, yes, rowing's not easy. It's much easier than trying to drag and force results. And so with that, a lot of times what I do is teams that do this, I have an office, and they sent me a text, and they're Kiera, remember when you were in our office and you helped us set the goal of hitting, I think it was 350,000 a month. They were we were barely producing 200 at that time. They're there's no way this is going to happen. 4 months later, they were breaking 350. And like that's 150,000 added to production, no extra days. Like all we did was we aligned the team to see where we needed to go. And what's crazy is when you get that alignment, well, now your systems become easier. Now the clarity is there. Everybody truly can figure out like where we're going and what our next level is, because it's a collective group and it's a collective growth and it's a collective mission and effort that we're all headed to. I don't come in and say, you guys should be here. I come in and say, all right, collectively as a team, this is where we are. This is what industry standards are for growth. What do we feel as a team? And now when I'm doing this, also, I don't break it down and say like, all right, you have to add 150,000 a month. Well, no, if you're working 20 days, like I'm literally pulling out my calculator, 150,000 divided by 20 days, that's 7,500 extra a day. Well, 7,500 in dentistry is actually pretty easy to produce. And so what things could we do to get there? How could we have each department work on this? So now it becomes not 150,000. It's like, great. How do we add that 7,500? Why are we doing this? What's the purpose behind it? But getting that next level figured out really can help a practice get out of the plateau, because now our sites are bigger. We know where we're headed. Then we can figure out our systems. Then we can figure out all the different pieces of like, what is my true ceiling? Am I really maxed out? You get more creative. So for this, yes, I did these steps this direction, but really I would reverse them if I was listening to this podcast. And step one is I would figure out what my vision is. What's my next level and where do I want to go? Then I'd look at my systems and what are my systems doing that I need to either add, take away, or improve to get me to this next level, and then figure out like the ceiling and is my practice truly maxed out, or based on my next level vision, what could I do within my practice currently? And I think, yes, it's always fun to go buy a new house or a new car, a new practice, expand it out, but also cash flow wise and business wise and savvy business, if you can make it work where you currently are or just do a few small changes, is that worth it? And does that give it? For some people, they need to go build it. And the next level for them is to build something more dreamy, more fun. And that's like what's going to ignite them. So everybody has to know what's going to be for you. But really, truly, I believe if you've got this great plan, you've got these pieces in play, it can help you get out of the plateau. It can help you figure out what your next level is. And honest to goodness, a lot of times you do need somebody outside to help you if you're not great at seeing this. And that's okay. I am not good. My husband and I, we walk in a lot of rental properties and real estate properties. And I'm like, I wish I could see the vision on houses like I see in dental practices. When I walk in, I can see what needs to happen. Our consultants can see what needs to happen quickly. Where do I need to move the numbers? What do I need to do from that? That's something so magical versus like, in a house, I'm like, I don't know. I can't see where to move the walls. And some of you might be able to see in a house very quickly how to renovate it and how to change it. For me, that's not a talent I have. For you, a talent you might not have is being able to see how you can get beyond the plateau of your practice. Here are some tips for you. Hopefully you can take them on and try them out. But really, if you need help, reach out. This is what we do. This is what we do all day long. We've seen multiple practices. We've seen them from 5 ops. We've seen them up to literally have a practice of 25 ops. Like the difference between those two practices and the way they operate in the systems and what we do for the large practices versus what we do for the small practices is pretty similar. Actually, it's very similar what we do. It's just on a different scale, and it's growing the smaller practices into the larger practices. So for you, growth truly, I want to remind you, isn't luck. It's leadership that has systems and clarity of where to go and what the next step is in the next vision. So if you feel stuck, you're not failing. You might just need a new vision. You might just need a different perspective. You might need somebody to come in and help you see the gaps that you might not be able to see. And so truly, I would love to help you. So reach out, hello@thedentalateam.com. This is what we talk about on our practice assessment calls. We talk about where you are, the potential. There is a lot of free consulting on that for you, whether you work with us or not, just to give you what the next step is or what some of the blind spots are in your practice that maybe you didn't see because you're in it day in and day out. I do this for our company. And it's such a joy and an honor to do it for practices, to be able to help you from someone who's been there, done that, and done it successfully over and over and over again. So let's do it for you. Reach out, hello@thedentalateam.com. It's time for you to grow into the vision that you were meant to have. It's time for you to have fun with it. It's time for you to get excited, to get reignited, to have the best time. And we're here to help you do that. So reach out. And as always, thanks for listening. I'll catch you next time on the Dental A Team podcast.